Hey there, Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising. Welcome to your reading for this week that is in between the eclipses. How did that eclipse go for you? Mercury is in retrograde. That in energy is definitely affecting you, but there's this, I don't know, I felt that eclipse was like so intense, and then Mercury station retrograde right behind it. So I would love to know, leave me a note in the comment section. I would love to know what your experience was, because I found it really, really intense. And so this week I asked Spirit if we could please have simplified messages, because next week they're going to be intense again with that eclipse coming in Scorpio. Energy of communication is your overall energy here. Underneath it, I noticed it, and I don't usually notice there's a letter. So the communication could be coming in the written form. They dropped out a bunch. Okay, so this is, I tried to do this, and they dropped a big clump for this last time, and I was like, that can't be right. And then they did it again, and we have many of the same cards. So I guess Spirit said we said what we were going to say. So what do we have here for your outcome? When we have the scythe and the clouds coming in the same, especially when they're together like this, that means clarity is coming in. You're going to be able to cut through the clouds, cut through the confusion, and be able to discern and decide what it is that you want to know. So this is the energy to anchor yourself down into. So we have this communication for the overall energy. There's some kind of important either documentation or conversation. Maybe it's emails that start the conversation, but there's something, oh wow, if you're like doing like dating sites, maybe you're like weeding through who do I want to actually have an actual phone conversation with kind of energy that could be going on, because here the key to the situation is we have this contract, this marriage thing. And so for some of you, this ring and this, for some of you, there's a commitment in the heart space. And so you may really be deciding who it is that you want to be spending a lot of time with or not. And so there's been maybe some confusion around that. It feels like you don't know enough yet, but wow, this feels like a new relationship. I don't do relationship readings, and yet here we are having one. So it could be a new creative project for those of you that it's not about a relationship, or within your current existing relationship. The question is, am I happy? This am I happy card showing up here. The card of happiness showing up, and what's the obstacle to overcome. And so there's a need to kind of sort through this, because there's this burden that you're carrying, and either it's guilt or unhappiness or negative feelings, or maybe it's like trying to make somebody else happy and they're just never happy, they're never satisfied, something like that. And it's creating some kind of a energetic drain on you, and you're trying to decide whether to move forward or not. And again, I really don't feel like this is about a job. I feel like this is a personal relationship. So it's either a friendship situation or a committee maybe that you volunteer on, or it's some kind of, there's an emotional component that is relationship wise, and should I move forward? And there's been a moving forward slowly, but when we have this sitting here with the ring and the commitment, and how do you transform the situation? It's the new beginning, the new child being open to receive. You know, it's really interesting. It's like you catch their attention, and the action they take is to gain clarity by really going within your heart space to really get this answer and this information. And again, the anchoring into the clarity coming in. I really feel like you figured that out. And how are you going to figure it out? Well, we got this dog of loyalty coming out with the heart. And so it is heart-to-heart conversations with somebody that matters to you. It's somebody of significance, whether this is your child, your parent. It might be that you need to help your parents make some life choices that are really difficult and complicated, because we have the family tree showing up here in the heart. It could be that you're helping your child to make major decisions about which college they're going to attend, you know, and cutting through the confusion and the clarity on that. There is something where there is a lot of, it feels like there's a lot of information and opportunities and stuff that has to be sorted through, and Mercury in retrograde making it a little complicated. But here's what's good about Mercury in retrograde: it does force us to slow down and to pay attention to the details, and it is in a fellow earth sign, which is actually trining yours. And so the review process before you decide to send that deposit to, we're going to take this, we're going to live here, or we're going to take this job, or we're going to go to this college, or we're going to put mom and dad in this assisted living situation, or we're going to, hire this caregiver to take care of our kids over the summer because we both work, or whatever this is. It feels like an important decision with a lot of different things. And the question is, what will bring the joy and the happiness for the majority of the situation and the people? And in the area of resources, we have the book is closed. And so I think it feels like money is a part of the equation somehow. It's like almost like, I'm going to get some more cards before I say another word on that. Let's dive into the cards about the other cards just to see what I get here. But definitely heart-to-heart conversation. And it's something that it's about creating growth and stability around family members. You have the dragonfly of luck. Allow the abundance of riches to come in unexpected and wonderful ways. So money's coming in a way you don't know. Resources are coming to you in a way that you can't see just yet. So that might be part of what helps to clarify things. So let's take the college example. Your kid wants to go to, 2 or 3 options or whatever. You're waiting to see what are the scholarship offers before you make a decision, right? And so I feel like you're still waiting on some kind of information and communication to come in. All right, we have the card of boundaries. I'm going into the book. I haven't really had to do that. Protect, define, and establish your boundaries, and know that healthy boundaries are essential for your well-being and growth. So, let's go back to the dating, or actually, again, it's any of these decisions, though, but let's just say with dating or a possible marriage or whatever, is this a situation where you're allowed to be who you are, right? Is this somebody that really you relate to, that you can have a friendship first and then everything else coming in? I don't know why I picked the book up. So I did the Scorpio reading right before yours, and I had to as usual stop and get something to eat. And sometimes it's a nap, sometimes it's something to eat. They're always very high vibrational and intense. I guess high vibrational is one way to put it. Intense would be the most accurate way to put it. You have some major healing coming through. I love this. Your ability to find the clarity through communication really opens up the doors for you. So really you have this the Archangel Uriel, U-R-I-E-L, Archangel Uriel, really works with the crown chakra and gives you downloads and information. So this getting some time alone to think, to sort through, to really focus on the question at hand, to meditate, will really allow you to come to the clarity that you know. You've got the door to personal healing and happiness, and the healer of the ages coming through with the world. And the world is about a greater perspective. It's also about completing a cycle to begin a cycle. But this world card here, it actually is happening in an eclipse, which we're in the middle of. So this eclipse energy that we're right in the middle of is bringing forward a lot of healing energy and clarity. And I think some of the answers that you don't have yet, they're on their way, but they're still shrouded in a little bit of mystery. And almost like allow things to unfold. It may take until Mercury clears its shadow, June 1st, for you to really have the total clarity and be able to move forward. But there's a new opportunity. I feel like there's some new information and new opportunity coming in, and allowing yourself to really get in touch with what is of value to you through your heart space, and really connecting in to the information coming from your higher self. And it could be this heart to heart could be you having it with yourself, your higher self. really getting in touch, and also with your inner child about what brings joy and what brings happiness and what are you looking for. So if, for instance, you're helping your child to work through a situation, then those are the questions that you also ask them. Well, what are you really looking for? What is it that you want? It's like setting up the parameters to be able to help to sort through, to really sort through the wheat from the chaff. What has value and what needs to be, let go of. And so there's almost a quick decision that comes through when you get the scythe with the clouds, like a sudden burst of clarity, a sudden decision, and it might take until that next eclipse for that to really come through, or it might take until Mercury clears its shadow. It's kind of hard for me to tell because it might depend on some other things. But wow, this is really interesting. So Virgo, what is going on with you? I've been trying to talk to all the signs about this today. I really think it's important that as we move closer and closer to this Aquarian age, that we remember that we're here to support one another. And part of that comes through sharing of our stories, because when we share of our stories, then other people can say, oh my gosh, so I'm not the only person. And it really feels good to know that we're not alone. So anything that you want to share to help to support the Virgo community on this channel is really greatly appreciated, not only by me, but by the Virgos. And honestly, there's so many Virgo placements that sometimes I feel, when I'm doing the readings, I know you guys are like the fourth reading, as far as, there's my sun and my moon and my rising, and then there's the Virgo energy that really always resonate with me because I have so many placements there. I have personal planets there, and I also have a stellium, and so there's just a lot of energy that goes into that. And so it's always nice when I see your comments and I'm like, oh good, it's not just me going through that. That's how I always end up feeling. So thank you for hitting the thumbs up and for contributing to the energy of this group. I really appreciate it. I'm on Facebook. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday this week had readings. If you'll have to go back to find them, but they were definitely about this creating structure around our dreams energy, and so then you might find those really helpful. But I am there every day. Usually it's about astrology. This week it was half astrology and half seriously channeled energy coming through. So you guys take great care. Thanks for spending time with me, and I will see you back here next week when we get into that really intense eclipse energy to see how that's going to play out. Talk to you then.